Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about that developer direct. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's talk about this. I literally just got off work. I wanted to make this video about the Dev Direct immediately after it happened, but didn't have time, had to go to work, just got home, so I'm making the video. But that Dev Direct, guys, was pretty damn awesome. That was a pretty damn awesome show. So first off, they started the show with saying that everything you see at the show is coming to Xbox Game Pass, which I think is very important. And not only is it coming to Xbox Game Pass, but everything you see at the show will be Xbox Play Anywhere. You can buy it on your Xbox, you can play it on your PC. Everything at the show, which is something they did not do last year because if you remember, Square Enix showed up with the Final Fantasy stuff, or not Final Fantasy stuff. What am I saying? Why am I saying Final Fantasy? I forget what they showed up with. But Square Enix showed up, they showed off what they showed off, and it didn't come to Game Pass, and everybody was like, well, that's weird to have at your Xbox Developer Direct. But this year they corrected that mistake. Everything at the show is coming to Game Pass, and they kicked off the show with the surprise, which I definitely did not see coming because that seems like something you would say for the end of the show. But given how they ended the show, and we're going to do this in order, so I'll talk about how they ended the show later, but given how they ended the show, I'll tell you what, I think it makes sense to have the surprise up front. Because the ending of the show was pretty great. So, they opened the show with the surprise game being Ninja Gaiden 4. Now, obviously, I said I wanted Oblivion. Am I a little disappointed that it wasn't Oblivion? Yeah. But am I upset that it's Ninja Gaiden 4? No, not at all. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks really, really awesome. It's Team Ninja teaming up with Platinum Games, which I did not see coming, but it is what's happening. To bring us Ninja Gaiden 4, the game looks good, right? The game looks good. I'm not going to pretend I'm the biggest fan of Ninja Gaiden, but I did play a lot of Ninja Gaiden Black on the original Xbox. That game kicked the shit out of me quite often, but I played a lot of it. And Ninja Gaiden 4 looks pretty sick. And it does come out this year, as you would expect, being a part of the Dev Direct. Fall 2025 for Ninja Gaiden 4, so that's definitely something to look forward to, and a pretty strong opening to the show. But Team Ninja followed it up with another announcement. So technically, there were 5 games at this Dev Direct, even though the graphic shows 4 things. You get Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Expedition 33, the surprise game being Ninja Gaiden 4, but Team Ninja showed off something else, and that was Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. They shadow dropped a remake of Ninja Gaiden 2, which, I mean, I didn't see them teaming up with Platinum Games. I really did not see them shadow dropping a remake. So I don't think we got a shadow drop last year, but they did go back to the original thing of with Hi-Fi Rush where they shadow dropped it. They did have a shadow drop this year, and it's the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black remake. So if you're looking for something to hold you over until Ninja Gaiden 4 gets here, there you go. I know I'm going to be playing a little bit of that tonight. Probably get my ass kicked, but hey, it is what it is. And then after that, we saw a little bit of Compulsion Games with South of Midnight. Now, the more I see of South of Midnight, the more Kena Bridge of Spirits vibes I get. And I saw some people who were kind of comparing them early on, and I didn't see it. But like the last, maybe, I think the last 2 showings, this and last year's showcase, I can really see the Kena vibes. And if you haven't played Kena Bridge of Spirits, I know it was PlayStation exclusive, or at least PlayStation console exclusive for a while. It did, not too long ago, come to Xbox. If you haven't played it, guys, check out that game. It's really, really awesome. And when I look at South of Midnight, I get those exact same vibes. In fact, the more they show, it just gets stronger and stronger. This latest showing at the Dev Direct, I mean, the fighting in this game just looks awesome. The combat mechanics look really, really sick. Again, very reminiscent of Kena Bridge of Spirits. I really like what I see from this. I'm hoping they can stick the landing because I've always thought about Compulsion Games. I've always said they're one of the most creative studios. I think they're outside of Arcane, which I'm a little bit of a fanboy for Arcane. I know. But outside of Arcane, I think they're probably the most creative studio at Xbox. Their games don't always hit. In fact, up to this point, their games usually haven't hit. And I think the reason for that is they just never had the budget to make the things that they could imagine actually happen in motion. And now that they have that budget, I mean, we're seeing what they're working on. It looks really, really, really good. I mean, they showed off a lot here with this showing. I mean, they showed off, like I mentioned, the combat system and how that works. They kind of went pretty in depth on that. Honestly, I would highly recommend that you watch this Dev Direct if you're interested in any of that, because they did go pretty in depth on that. They also showed off a little glimpse of the skill tree. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty promising. And then we also saw some of the boss fights, like the main bosses. Like each area has a main boss that it ends with that fight, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. I'm really, really excited to check this game out. And the best thing about this showing is that we finally got the release date, April 8th for South of Midnight. So not too far away, honestly. Looking forward to it. Like I mentioned earlier, and like you guys, I'm assuming you guys already know, day one in Game Pass, so no reason not to check it out if you're interested in that kind of thing. And up next, they went to Sandfall Interactive to talk about Expeditions 33. And this game, I'm somebody who I think I've made it quite clear in videos and on podcasts. I don't love turn-based games. It's very, very few and far between games that I love that are turn-based. Like South Park Stick of Truth, loved it. Metaphor, I still need to beat it, but Metaphor, I love it. That game's awesome. Those are like the only two turn-based games that I can think of that come to mind that I'm like, I love these. These are great. But this game could very well be the third one. This game looks really, really awesome. The story seems really interesting. The combat, again, I'm not a turn-based guy, but this combat looks pretty damn cool. And you can parry and block and stuff in combat. I know maybe I'm doing it wrong on Metaphor, but like it just feels like I can never block or ever parry. It just seems like it's kind of taken care of for me if I'm lucky. With this game, you can actually just do that yourself, which I'm pretty excited about, because that's one of my gripes on turn-based is like I'm getting hit no matter what. And it seems like with this game, I can kind of control if I get hit or not, which is a good touch, honestly. Much like anything else at this show, they did dive pretty deep into the game. We saw some of I don't know if you would call them companions, but allies that you'll run into along the way playing the game. We also saw some of the world, the fact that it does seem to be a pretty sizable world. I mean, they're saying that there are optional fights and everything, so there's stuff that you could play through this game and not see, or you could just see everything if you wanted to. Kind of seems like it's up to you on how you want to play the game, which again, very nice touch. And they also didn't leave us hanging on the release date. We got the release date, and it was kind of not really leaked, but rumored that it would be coming out in spring. Absolutely correct. It's coming out April 24th of this year. Cannot wait to play this game. It just looks so badass, guys. Check again. If you haven't seen this Dev Direct and you're interested in these games, go watch these deep dives, because there's a lot of information, more than I can go through here in the video. So check this out, guys, because it's really awesome stuff. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned we would get to the show closer. And I know for a fact that I thought the show closer would be the surprise. After seeing what it was, I mean, we all knew Doom the Dark Ages was going to be at this show. We all knew it. It was right there in the graphic. It's not a surprise that it's there. But I can certainly see why it was the closer, because, oh my fucking god, that looked incredible. Listen, I'm going to talk about Doom. Go watch it. Go watch it. I don't care if you pause the video right now to go watch it and come back and watch me talk about it. Watch that shit. that looked incredible. That, and I made this declaration, if you will. I said that if GTA 6 doesn't come out this year, because it's slated to come out this year, but there are rumors, it does seem like a very real possibility that it gets pushed to next year. If it does, Doom the Dark Ages is game of the year. I'm going to call it early. Lots of things can happen, but I'm just going to go out on a limb early and say if GTA 6 doesn't release this year, Doom the Dark Ages is winning game of the year. If you're a fan of the FPS genre at all, and you have played the recent Doom games, I don't know what I can say more to sell you on this. You know those games are awesome. They each do their own thing. Doom 2016 is a little, I wouldn't say slower than Eternal, but it's a lot less vertical than Eternal. Whereas Doom Eternal is very, very, very vertical. Doom Eternal wants you to run, they want you to jump, they want you to platform and everything. They want you to be in the air almost all the time. Like that's how, like when you watch like some of the best players of Doom Eternal, like one of my buddies, Hard Days Mike, when I watch him play Doom Eternal, he's in the air like 90% of the time. And that's kind of how they're pushing you to play that way in Doom Eternal. Doom the Dark Ages is just like, dude, it's boots on the ground. You're walking forward and mowing down fucking everything in front of you. And I am so here for that. And they really didn't hold back at all with Doom the Dark Ages, what they're showing. Because, dude, they showed damn near like 15 minutes of the game. And they went, again, very in depth on this game. And how they want you to feel playing it. And what kind of style they're going for at this game. Like I mentioned, it's definitely more boots on the ground. And they said that. I forget the words they used exactly, but they said Doom 2016, we wanted you to do this. Doom Eternal, we wanted you to do this. And Doom the Dark Ages, we want you to stand and fight. And my God, that whole 15 minutes was some standing and fighting. That was some standing on business. All right, that shit looked fantastic. And they really didn't hold back at all with Doom the Dark Ages, what they're showing. Because, dude, they showed damn near like 15 minutes of the game. And they went, again, very in depth on this game. And how they want you to feel playing it. And what kind of style they're going for at this game. Like I mentioned, it's definitely more boots on the ground. And they said that. I forget the words they used exactly, but they said Doom 2016, we wanted you to do this. Doom Eternal, we wanted you to do this. And Doom the Dark Ages, we want you to stand and fight. And my God, that whole 15 minutes was some standing and fighting. That was some standing on business. All right, that shit looked fantastic. Obviously, it's Doom. We saw the combat. We saw the guns. Dude, some of the guns look absolutely insane in this game. But they did make sure to mention exploration. They did seem to harp on the fact that this is the biggest Doom game they've ever made. I don't know that it's quite open world. I don't believe they confirmed that. But there are a lot of places. There's a lot of levels in this game, and it does seem like you can explore quite a lot. Seems like they're pretty compact with things to do, which again is awesome. I love stuff like that. So that's good to see for sure. They also mentioned the dragon and the giant mech that we saw when they originally showed off the game. I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I saw that, I kind of just assumed, okay, this is going to be like a part in the game. You do it once and you never get to see it again. They mentioned that those things actually have skill trees, that you can upgrade those things. So you're going to be doing more than just one thing, one mission with those things. They're going to be a seemingly integral part of the game, which is really, really awesome. Because when I saw that dragon, like I said, I was worried it was just going to be like, okay, here's a dragon for a mission. Now you're done. It's cool to know that I will be using the dragon quite often. Just like it's cool to know that I will be using the mech quite often. But guys, that was one hell of an ending to that show. I mean, and again, they managed to do it without a surprise. We all, like I said, we all knew Doom was going to be there. Everyone expected it. So, like, it wasn't a surprise that it was there, but I guess the surprise, which I guess it shouldn't be a surprise because it's id, the surprise was that not only did it look fucking awesome, but it looked so stupendously awesome that it was like, hey, we can close the show with this over the big surprise at the start of the show. We can close the show with this over a Ninja Gaiden 4 announcement and a Ninja Gaiden 2 Black remake. We can close the show with this. And they did it, and it worked really, really well. So shout out to Xbox for that. Shout out to id Software, because my God, they are cooking. Every team here is just cooking. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see more of this stuff. For Doom Eternal, by the way, we got a release date, May 15th of this year. So before the showcase, in the next couple of months, dude, the next couple of months, and keep in mind, this is just before the showcase. I mean, there's still a back half of the year after that. But this next couple of months, like March, there's some drops in Game Pass that I'm pretty excited for. February, Avowed is probably one of my most anticipated games. So there's that for Xbox. March is going to be big for third-party drops in Xbox. April, you start the month with South of Midnight, and then you also get Expedition 33 in Game Pass, plus whatever else they end up dropping in Game Pass. May is just all about Doom, and then you go to June and you get the showcase. Guys, it seems like it's going to be a really good year. It seems like it's going to be a really, really good year for Xbox, and that's refreshing. Hopefully we can get back to talking about just the video games, as opposed to business strategies and all that other stuff that just, quite frankly, for me, isn't fun to talk about. This showcase is exactly what I needed. I can't wait for literally everything here. But leave it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts on the showcase are. Let me know if you've watched it. If you haven't, leave that in the comments. Leave a like if you like the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing. Consider ringing that notification bell, because it helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it helps promote me, and the algorithm helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always, always, always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.